チャンネル登録、いいねボタンよろしくお願いします。
チャンネル登録。
You got it, bro.
Naturalized or naturalized? What are we doing there?
You can give him naturalized.
Yeah, we'll get one naturalized.
Like
player.
a real lineup.
I don't know. I don't think I could say me and Fazekas. That'd be like the worst defensive lineup in the history of
Hey, but you guys will get buckets, though. Get buckets, though.
Oh, man.
Hope you guys are having an amazing day. We have another episode of IKEMAX going into the 2021-2022 B-league season. We have a pretty good lineup coming up. We have a super special guest this evening. Ike, you want to bring him in?
Yeah, one of the more popular guys in the B League. Two-time champion, my man, AK, Alex Kirk. Welcome to the show, brother. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good, man. A little tired, but appreciate you guys having me on. And, yeah, excited.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcoming you on and wanting to talk about the Sizzler.
You said what?
I said welcoming you on and wanting to talk about the Sizzler.
Oh, the Sizzler. Oh, I was like, wait, the sister? What do you mean? No, the Sizzler. Yeah. That's the pregame routine. You know, the pregame routine.
All right. So to get started, kind of want to go through your background. How was that your upbringing like in New Mexico and all the way playing for University of New Mexico?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it was great being able to stay home, and I was able to stay home and close to the family. Had a little bit of going out of high school, like was kind of pretty sure I was headed to Arizona. Like I got pretty lucky. I got to play AAU basketball out of Houston with the Houston Hoops, and so that was a great experience for me. And then obviously you play like programs like that, things kind of opened up. So I got to kind of visit the country and a whole bunch of different schools were, I got lucky to get offers from. And but then when it kind of like came down to it, like playing close to home, playing close to my parents, like especially my dad, he was my high school coach. And just for him to be able to come to every game and all, like a lot of the practices was, it was just like an opportunity I couldn't turn down. And then, I mean, I think whenever you get to like represent your home and on like a national level, because I think I was there 4 years and I think we were ranked top 25 pretty much that whole time. So, yeah, that was, just an amazing opportunity I couldn't turn down.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. It's very rare you get to like really stay home and get to contribute to your home fan base like that and get to play in front of your family. That's awesome.
Yeah, and in New Mexico, there's not much going on. So, we were considered like the pro team. Like we were kind of the guys. Like, there's a AAA baseball team. Our football team at University of New Mexico was terrible. New Mexico State was like had amazing players. I mean, there's a few guys that play here in Japan actually, but we were always able to kind of take advantage of them and beat them every year. So I mean, it was kind of like our state, like we were kind of like the pro team without getting paid, of course. But it was a good time.
That's awesome, bro.
Okay, and then you kind of went from junior year to the NBA draft. You were undrafted, but then you were able to land with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Can you tell us that process and kind of going back and forth between like the D League and going back to the NBA team? Yeah. How was that process like for you?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I was at school for 4 years. I had the same back injury I had this year. I had that same injury in college, so I had to recover from that. That was my sophomore year. And honestly, it ended up kind of like working out. I had some pretty good players ahead of me, like Drew Gordon. Aaron Gordon's brother was the starting center for New Mexico that year. So sitting out a year, I kind of got to chill. I actually grew like an inch and a half that year, and then just kind of got to get ahead on my studies, and then just kind of take that year to get better and obviously get healthy. And then after that, I kind of took off a bit, and after that fourth year, I was kind of like, I could come back, but you're another year older, and it's that fifth year. I mean, it works out for some people, but for me, I think it was time to go. It was time to make money, and you play one more year of college. That's one less year of making money probably as a pro. So then, yeah, I kind of went undrafted, and that was just a crazy process. It's like the whole like pre-draft and all that stuff. I lost like 20, 25 pounds going into the combine and stuff like that. So it was crazy. And then, I like went to Cleveland. They had the number 1 pick, so they picked Andrew Wiggins, and they brought in David Blatt as their coach. And yeah, it was pretty exciting and everything like that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to a good team: Dion Waiters, Tristan Thompson, Kyrie. Like, obviously there's some good guys, but I was like, maybe I'll have an opportunity to play. We play like first game of summer league, and then like, next thing you know, LeBron's coming back, and then it just like the complete roster like completely flipped. So I remember even like I can't remember if it was like he actually said it or it just kind of was like how everybody felt. But I remember like we were in like UNLV's like practice gym, and like everyone's going crazy for Cavaliers like front office because like obviously LeBron's coming back. Like they're all happy. Coach Blatt's happy. Dellavedova was pretty excited about it, everything like that. And the rest of us really didn't know what was going on. But I mean, I don't know. Like everyone just kind of looked at Wiggins like, yeah, like probably out, man. Like, sorry about that. But and then after that, I was kind of just hoping to go to camp and just, kind of just do my thing and see what would happen. And like ended up making the team. I actually had like a really good preseason, and I played pretty well. And then pretty much was like a two-way player. Like I'd call it like what the two-way contract was now. Like that was what I was doing. I was going back and forth. Like I was pretty much like playing 40 minutes in the D-League and then waking up the next morning and like coming back to practice in Cleveland and get yelled at for all the mistakes that the NBA guys were doing. So
that's a grind.
Yeah, that was always fun. But yeah, really, really enjoyed my time there. And like, obviously getting to be around like some legends, I'm not even just talking about like LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, but there was like Sean Marion there, Brendan Haywood, Mike Miller, James. So like, it's just a ridiculous list. I mean, it's just like how the Lakers are this year. Like that team just had so many legends, like not only legendary players, but just like legendary personalities. And then, probably like one of the worst trades in NBA history. Like, I think it was like Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith for like, Dion Waiters ended up going to OKC, and then like me and Lou Amundsen, who played in Kawasaki a couple of years ago, went to New York. And, being on the trade wire was like one of the worst experience. The waiver wire, was like one of the worst experiences. Just like literally just sat in Cleveland for 3 days, waiting to find out like what New York was going to do, if another team was going to pick me up. And as a rookie, kind of being on my own in Cleveland, that hit me pretty hard, and ended up getting cut. And then kind of like, I don't know, there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened, but ended up going back to the D-League. And I found out there's a big difference before being the NBA player going to the D-League and then just being another D-League player. We had a pretty talented team on that D-League. I mean, there's some good guys. There's some good guys on that Canton Charge team, and ended up just like kind of playing out of position and like doing a lot of things like that. Yeah, didn't really help, but ended up kind of helping me like for the future. But yeah, it was a great experience in the long run.
Mm-hmm. But to make that team, like that Cleveland Cavaliers team, going undrafted, bro, that in itself is like a testament to your work ethic, because that's not easy to do. Like that's one of the very, very rare things that happen.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, like, because it's come up like a couple of times in my career where it's like I do have quite a good work ethic. I mean, at least I think, but you like sometimes you like just don't know better. Like you just know like, hey, I'm just gonna work hard and we'll just like see what happens. Like, because like honestly, in that situation, I had nothing to lose. Like, and it's come up like several times in my career like that, where it's just like, yeah, just kind of go out and see what happens. And I mean, like I was shooting the ball pretty well. Like, okay, defense has never been my like specialty, but I was like, doing the best I possibly could. I mean, yeah, when Kyrie's coming at you on a pick and roll, it's not like anybody has a chance. So it's not like that really made a difference. But yeah, just battling with those guys in practice, like Kevin Love and, Tristan Thompson. And I mean, Brendan Haywood was like, he's a massive human being. Like, and he was like, so skilled and everything. And Anderson Varejao. And honestly, like I was just young and just like using every bit of energy I had. And just like good things happened. And pretty thankful for that opportunity, honestly.
Do you think that opportunity in the NBA was able to help you like grow and facilitate the success you've had overseas?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, just playing against those guys and just like, obviously that builds a bit of confidence, you know, like, it's like, hey, if I can play with these guys, like, then I should be able to technically play with everybody. Obviously I never really got the game experience that I wish I would have gotten. And I think like, it was definitely a difficult situation. Like if you're sitting behind a bunch of vets, like, you're never going to really get that opportunity. Like Brendan Haywood, I don't think was ever going to go into the game in Cleveland. Like I really don't think he was ever going to really get to play. And I was sitting behind him. So there was no way I was going to jump to be able to play against him, like to play above him. And, I probably wasn't ready, but like, it still would have been a pretty cool opportunity to like get to play a bit more in the NBA and like actually kind of just show what I got. I mean, I'm not sure if it would have made a difference or anything like that, but, I definitely think, just that experience did help me going forward.
Okay, but I'm sorry to jump back to it, but my uncle actually played for the Cleveland Browns for like 6 years back in the day, and he always talks about that community, and he's like, man, if you play on the sports team in Cleveland, you're like a rock star there. Was that similar to your experience? Yeah,
I mean, because yes and no. Like I could go pretty much and get around. Like I lived downtown. I lived across the street from the baseball field and the arena. So like, yeah, I mean, honestly, like it was pretty cool. Like I was downtown and everything like that. So it was like, yeah, sometimes I could get away with like, kind of just like walking around. No one would know who I was but at sometimes too, it's like, those diehard fans, like they were diehard fans and it really didn't matter who you were. Like if you were the 15th guy on the roster or you were, LeBron, like they would, they treated us pretty good. And it's definitely a sports town. Like it's, winners there are pretty tough, but like, I think they're like, no matter what, they rally around their sports teams. Like, and I think it's like, it's kind of how it's situated. Like everything's like so close together, the downtown and everything like that, that it's definitely a sports town for sure.
What went behind your decision to move on from the NBA and then kind of play overseas in Italy, China, and Turkey, and obviously in Japan? But
yeah, so I played summer league that next year with the New York Knicks, and honestly, I thought that was going to work out. I thought playing in the triangle was like going to work, like because that was when Phil Jackson was still there, and I think he was GM, and I want to say like Derek Fisher was the head coach, and they had Kurt Rambis and all that, and Porzingis was there, and Carmelo and all that was still going on, and I was like, if I'm going to play in the NBA, like this is my opportunity, like this would be the chance for me. And yeah, I had a really good summer league. Like even guys on other teams were saying like, oh, like you're gonna get a shot to play with the Knicks. Like I was pretty excited about it. And I mean, they kind of came back and they offered me like no money to go to training camp, and I was just kind of like, yeah, how long am I gonna sit here and chase this carrot, like this NBA carrot? I don't know if that makes sense, but like, yeah, I could go get cut and then go play for the Westchester Knicks for another season, and then like then it's like 2 years gone. With at least the first year I got some NBA money, but the second year I probably, who knows what would have happened. But it's like, yeah, then I'm like 2 years out. It's like, yeah, comes back to that situation where I was in college. It's like, yeah, I could come back and play at New Mexico, have a great time, be popular, be the star on campus and not really make any money. Like doesn't really do anything for my family or my future family. So I was just like kind of ready to move on. And, then I kind of, not really going to training camp. I like kind of just turned everything off, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go Europe and like, make this big money and all this. And I think I ended up making like $60K next year for them playing in Italy. So I was like, whatever. I mean, it was what it was, but that was another great opportunity.
And so fast forward a little bit, what went into your decision to come to Japan?
Yeah, so I'd actually just played with Deshaun Thomas, who was here in Alvark the last year. I played in Ephes, and obviously I was hoping to stick with EuroLeague. I thought I kind of did okay at the EuroLeague level. I was ready to have like a little bit of an opportunity and hopefully stay with Anadolu Efes in Turkey. And I mean, they ended up going in a different direction with another European big man. And after that, there like wasn't like a ton of options. There was a couple offers in Spain that I was thinking about taking, and then I mean, I think we understand Toyota. They can kind of financially back some stuff. So I was kind of like, all right, like let's, this is a good. I just had played in China, so I'd made, I did pretty well in China and ended up getting cut. But that's how I ended up in Turkey. But I was like, all right, I mean, I think I could handle, I handled China. Like, I think I can handle Japan. And it was a good contract, like money wise. And everybody sounded like the situation was, one of the better ones in Japan. I mean, really, I didn't know anything. But I was like, all right, let's give this a shot.
How would you compare your situation with Toyota in terms of like the facilities and all the resources available compared to, say, the EuroLeague, NBA, or China?
I mean, I definitely think Toyota is better than, my EuroLeague experience. Honestly, like, I think we have like, probably one of the, like, I think Toyota's setup is probably one of the better in, like practice facility wise and locker room and all that kind of stuff is better than, a lot of the situations in Europe. I mean, obviously I didn't play for the Barcelonas or Real Madrids, but Anadolu Efes was a great situation and they had a practice gym, and they had, weight rooms and stuff, but I'd still say Toyota's situation is a bit better. I mean, now there's not quite the arenas like there was in EuroLeague and stuff like that. Those are some pretty nice arenas in Turkey and Spain and all those different places, but, not that playing in Tachikawa is that bad, but it's not quite an arena. It's more closer to like a field house or something like that. But I mean, that was probably the biggest difference. But overall, our practice facility is pretty solid here in Toyota.
Yeah, I noticed that difference too because I only played in Europe 1 year, and it was in the BBL. And in that league, they all play in stadiums, and it's like these huge gyms, and you're like, man, they're putting 10,000 people in the stands. You're like, bro, and they're like, love it. Like, they're like all into it and everything. So that was a bit shocking to me my first year because it's not on that level here yet. Yeah,
it's definitely getting there. Japan's different. I mean, fans wise and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I played a EuroLeague game in Serbia and there was like, I think it was like 28,000 people there, like saying every word possible to you and fireworks going off. And, we played the quarterfinal or the semifinal in Olympiacos when we were there. And that was, but we ended up losing in game 5 and like, it was like legit scary. Like, it was like, we need to get out of here. Like, we need to leave right now. Like that's something I don't think will ever make its way to Japan, but yeah.
No, there's too much respect in the culture here. Okay, so you get here that first year, you arrive in Japan. I remember your first year when you were here. I remember you were pretty decent early on, but you caught on to the game fairly quick here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it was like a month and a half. Yeah. I think it took me like a month and a half. I was like, that first like month of training camp was pretty rough. I mean, like it was compared to how training camp now is here. It was a bit tougher, and honestly, like learning how to play with Daiki, Tanaka, and that was different. Like and I was like, I wasn't sure. I wasn't really sure about him. To be completely honest, like I was kind of. Like wasn't really sure about splitting minutes with like a rookie and stuff. We had Landon Lucas here at the moment. He was a really good player out of Kansas. Like, don't get me wrong, but I was like, yeah, this is tough. And the situation was great. I just like wasn't sure. I was kind of like, I'm not really sure if I belong here. But it's kind of happened at every stop along my way. At that first beginning, it's a little rough for me, but once I kind of get comfortable, things usually tend to go good pretty quick.
Yeah, because I remember the first year on your first championship run, I think you guys beat us in Aishin, and like we were like the number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because we had a really good year that year, and I remember like you guys, you beat us kind of bad, didn't you?
I think it was pretty close, and like I think it kind of towards the end of both those games we kind of broke it open. Like I think we just kind of like wore you guys down. Honestly, like I think like. For the most part, like you guys played pretty well, but I remember Jawad having like broken ribs and stuff, and so like it was. I was playing quite a bit, and we ended up having Brendan Lane, who came back that year from Shimane after they cut him, and I just remember just like I feel like we both teams were, because that was when we went to game 3 was like that little 10-minute period after. And I was like, I think we were both just like praying like, hey, like we can't do this. Like we can't go to game. Like one of us has got to win. Like, cause we're both just too tired. Like, and really at that point, I was so tired. Like honestly, like that at the end of that season, like I've never been that tired for like just at an end of a season ever.
But what's it like, man? Your first year in a country to win a championship like that? That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I mean it was an awesome feeling for sure because we definitely had come like a long way, you know. I always go back. I forget. I was talking about it with somebody the other day, but we were sitting. I was talking about Emperor's Cup, Early Cup, and I don't think you guys were in our region for that one, but I think we beat like. I want to say we beat like Shibuya, Chiba, Kawasaki, like all in a row. And like, I mean, that was like Sakurai, Fazike, Gavin, and Togashi. And we're just like, but I didn't know what was going on. Like, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything about this. And people were like, yeah, this is kind of cool. Like, you guys just did some good stuff. And I was like, I really have no idea what's going on. And so, like, even at the end of the year, I was just kind of like, yeah, we won. And I was just kind of like, I don't know, is this like a big deal? And then like, once we won, it kind of hit me. I was like, oh, this was pretty special. Like, I mean, I understand it's like the second year of the B League, but like you could kind of tell that this league was coming together and this league was going to blossom. And, it kind of hit me all at the end towards there. I was just like, oh yeah, this was pretty big deal. Like, and like, we were young. Like at that point we were young. Besides Jawad being a grandpa, but we were pretty young, and so I mean that was special. I mean, definitely with Daiki and Baba and all that group.
Yeah, because that team progressed a lot just over the course of that year. Because I think you guys hit like a rough patch in there somewhere, and then towards the end, you guys got hot. And
yeah. I mean, we struggled with the import situation there for a bit, and then just trying to figure out. I don't know, just trying to figure out the B League. I just think it took some time, and Daiki was out for a month, and Baba broke his foot. And I mean, I think you would agree, but you can be as good as team as you want, but I think in the end, like you're only going to be as good as your Japanese players in the B League. I think it's just so important to have, and I've been lucky, like really so lucky to play with some of the best Japanese players, not only like right now, but I think some of the best Japanese players, ever.
Yep. I agree. You play with some really good players, and that's a fact of Japan is you're only going to ever be as good as your locals are. You need those guys healthy. You need those guys hungry, and you have to learn how to use them the correct way, and have them 100%. Use you the correct way.
100%.
All right, so going into the season, every season, Toyota's super stacked. But this season, you kind of loaded up again, kind of have a super team. I think if anyone looks at the team, they expect a championship. So what makes you excited about the upcoming season? I know you're rehabbing, but How do you think about the season?
I mean, I think I did like I don't know, one of those basket counts or Basketball King, one of the Japanese media sites, and they're kind of like, so what do you think? Are you guys the favorites going into the Okinawa weekend? And it's like, I think that's like the furthest from the truth, honestly. Like, I mean, I understand it. Like, I see it. Like, I understand Yaris, who is, he's been 2-time All-Star and obviously Finals MVP. And I mean, Ryan's a legend here, and Daiki's coming back. But it's just a new situation. It's it's going to be interesting. I think it just takes time, to see like if this is actually. I mean, of course, like I think it's going to work. Like I think just our ability and how hard we all play and how smart we all are, but it takes time. Like these things take time to come together, and it's not really worried about the beginning of the season. Just kind of worried about, hey, like where will we be in 8 months, 9 months now? So, that's the goal, and all we're kind of doing is just going day by day. And honestly, like, just trying to have enough players to play 5-on-5 at this point and just get everybody together and get everybody, on the same page, I think will be important, but it's also going to take some time.
Okay, so be honest, though. Were you hearing about some of those moves behind the scenes, or was it just like, did it blindside you that you guys were picking up some of the guys that you got?
So what's crazy is in Japan, I hear everything about other teams. Like and I'm not the one like going out and asking questions. Like I'm legit just hearing stuff. But I know nothing about my team, like zero. Like it's the most confusing thing ever. But you know, I think I heard quite a bit this summer about what was going on, and you know, I just tried to kind of like stay neutral like to it because it's just like, you know, okay, is this true? Is that true? And you know, but it was like I love that. I love like the, you know, the free agency stuff, like even the NBA stuff and all this. Like I really, really do enjoy that. And so just like hearing all this stuff this summer and talking to different guys, and it was enjoyable. Like I promise there was like no recruiting going on like in that way, but I'm just like talking to different guys, especially guys who had already signed contracts and stuff, and like what they were hearing and stuff like that. And yeah, it was fun. Like I really enjoyed it. Like this is the first year I ever logged onto the B-league website to like check the transfer list every day. Like I promise, like I never done that thing. I never even saw that before. I also couldn't read cut the comment, but it was amazing. Like just like, oh yeah, like okay, this guy's going there. Like I don't know, it was just really exciting for me this summer when, like, honestly, I didn't have much going on. So like it was just something to do and something to follow, and I definitely enjoyed it.
Bro, it's a beautiful time in the league right now because when Max and I played together, it was in the NBL. It was before the B League. And like the Japanese guys, if you were with one of like the company teams or with this team or with this team, you kind of try to stick there. But it seems like guys now are like, listen, whatever situation is best for me, like I'm going. Like I'm willing to do it. Like the kid Okada I played with at Aishin, like if he sees a situation where he can be successful, he's going to get it, man. So I think that's great for the league. Yeah,
I think it's and at first, like the last couple of years, I think it was shocking, like to see like some of the Japanese players move from team to team. And,
for sure.
You know, for example, like let's take Ando. Like, I mean, I can't be happier for the kid. Like he's like my best friend here in Japan. And like the fact that he's going, you know, is like going to Shimane. I'm like, I couldn't be happier. Like it was a situation, it was a deal that he couldn't turn down, you know? So, just obviously just super excited. And I think that's going to make the league better. Like, you know what I mean? Like instead of a guy just sitting there, you know, at one team, you know, maybe unhappy, happy, playing good, playing bad. I think like that movement, I think it keeps teams, you know, on the hunt for better players, younger players, you know, and I don't know. It just brings more excitement to the league, honestly.
I agree.
All right, Alex, we always ask this question to every guest. Which Japanese player has impressed you the most throughout your career here? Let's remove teammates and former teammates out of the list.
I mean, it's half the national team. Like you're taking away half the national team.
You can't do that.
Too much bias there.
Kanemaru, by far. By far, he's my favorite player. Like from other teams, like and yeah, no offense to anybody else, but like, man, like just the no hesitation, man. Like not even being able to see the basket. Like, and we by far, like we've had Baba and then obviously Shohei. They're by far like some of the best defenders. Like, I mean, in Japan, but you know, even anywhere, like they're good defenders. And this dude is just unbelievable. Like, and I know you play with him, and I'm sure he appreciated the hell out of your screens, you know. But God, man, that kid is just fun to watch. And even just with the national team, I'm just like, I don't know who they were playing in the Philippines, but I'm just like, man, this coach hasn't put this guy in. Like, come on, we got to get this going. Like, let this guy at least get like 5 shots up. Like,
bro, he's unconscious, bro.
It's just unbelievable. Like, he's the second. Like, and I tell everybody this. Like, I'm not like tweeting it out or telling media this, but to me, he's the second best shooter in the world. Like, I like no joke. Like, I think he's like one behind Steph Curry. Like, I cannot make this up. Like, the dude is unbelievable.
Like, bro, to watch that day in and day out in practice, like it's like, dude, it's every day. It's like, man, like, bro, it's a gift, bro. It's just a gift he has.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you just see it, like it's just natural, and I mean, I've heard different stuff about his practice routines and stuff like that. So I don't know. I obviously didn't play with him, but just the way that he just it's just effortless. Like it's amazing.
It's some guys have to be in the gym all day. They have to shoot 200-300 shots in a spot bro. He just got it, bro.
He just got it. I mean, there's nothing else you can say. Yeah, for
sure. He might walk in there one day, stretch, get 25, 30 shots up, and then he's already on fire.
For sure. Man, that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing, man.
All right. I want you to put on your GM hat. So I want you to select 4 Japanese players in the league that are not current and former teammates to have on your starting 5. I don't want no bias. That's why.
Yeah, you can't pick your teammates, bro. Come on. You guys are stacked.
So 4 Japanese players to play with you.
Naturalized or naturalized? What are we doing there?
You can give them naturalized.
Yeah, we'll get one naturalized
like
player.
A real lineup.
I don't know. I don't think I could say me and Physique, as that'd be like the worst defensive lineup in the history of.
Hey, but you guys will get buckets though. Get buckets though.
Oh man. God, I can't have my own teammates.
No, you can't pick them dudes.
I think for sure my defender would be Aki Chambers. I think like by far a lockdown guy. Gosh, that's a bit of pressure. I mean, obviously shooting guard Kanemaru. He was in the team. Kanemaru my 2. Let's go Aki at the 3. I guess we do just have to put Physiques at the 4. I guess my point guard.
Ando's not on your team anymore. You pick him.
Oh, I thought we said no former teammates.
Oh, no former teammates. My bad. Yeah.
Oh, because I would have put Joji. I would have put Baba.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Takumi. My point guard. Who would my point guard be? God, that's tough, man.
Fuji from Toshiba.
Probably Yuki.
Oh, Yuki's
Togashi's good though.
Yeah, I guess I should. Oh man, yeah. God, that's going to be a bad defensive team. But okay, we'll put Yuki. We'll put Togashi.
You guys are getting straight buckets, averaging 120 a game.
Yeah. We're going to have to put about 120 up in 10-minute quarters.
Yeah. So you had Yuki, Togashi at the 1. You had Chamber. You had Kanemaru at the 2.
Yeah.
Aki Chambers at the 3.
Yeah.
Physiques at the 4, and you at the 5. That's your lineup.
That defense.
It's the worst defensive lineup you could come up with.
Bro, you got one defender on that rock. Well, you're pretty good. You can block shots. But bro.
Yeah, not right now, but yeah.
All right. We kind of want to go into the quick questions from the fans.
All right.
So I want to go through some, if that's possible.
Okay. Yep.
I'm sure you probably looked at some of them already.
Yeah, I did. I checked out a couple.
And if you don't want to answer it, just give me a gesture that you don't want to answer it. That'd be fine.
All right.
All right. This question from Yan says, is there any import player that you're close with in the B League?
Not like, I wouldn't say I'm like the import favorite here in Japan. But obviously, I think like Jawad Williams, who's played with me here for 2 years, and then was in Tochigi, Hokkaido. Now I think he's at Yamagoto or something. Yeah, I think so. Yamagata. Sorry. But yeah, so I mean, I truly do consider him like one of my best friends, and he was a super good guy, and he was like super important for my career. So, Sorry, not the quickest answer. My bad.
No, all good.
That's good.
Hana Specials says, is there any special Japanese seasoning that you like? I guess that's like soy sauce, or you can say mirin, or yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't really go wrong with soy sauce, right? I mean, it's pretty good, and I do like spices. I mean, I don't know all the names and all that, but I'm from New Mexico, so I'm pretty big on spices and all that kind of stuff.
How are you with wasabi?
I mean, wasabi, yeah, it's not like New Mexico green chili or anything, but I can handle it. I like it.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Se says, have you thought about naturalizing?
Yeah, I mean, okay, if the opportunity came up, I mean, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, if you've been here long enough and you've put in the work and studying and all that, like, and you've made sure, all those boxes are checked. I mean, if I had that opportunity, like, of course, like, I think, you'd be stupid not to, honestly.
For sure.
All right, I want to go 2 more if that's possible.
Yeah, we go as many as you want.
All right, Shinobu310 says, it seems like you like car racing. Is there a specific racing car that you would like to drive?
So, I mean, during the pandemic, I watched the F1 documentary. I don't know. It was on Netflix and everything. And like, honestly, like low-key, like fell in love with the sport a little bit. Like I enjoy it. And then all of a sudden there was a Japanese driver, Yuki Tsunoda, came onto the scene this year. And, I'm a pretty big fan of him, but obviously, I got to go with the champ. Lewis Hamilton probably is my favorite. So, I mean, if I could meet him or something like that, I don't know if I would want to drive one of those cars after watching the wrecks the last couple of seasons. Like there was a wreck this last weekend, like where he hydroplaned into a wall. Lando did. I was just like, it's not for me, man.
No, sir.
7 foot's not going to crash beautifully.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
What about a sports car?
Sorry?
A sports car that you would like to drive?
Probably like... I don't know, one of Daiki's cars, honestly. I don't know. Probably like an Audi R7 or something like that. RS7 or something like that. That'd be cool.
Nice. All right, one last one. We actually got a question about Sizzler. Setomuna says, so what's the difference between the American Sizzler and the Japanese Sizzler?
I've never been to Sizzler in America.
Oh, wow.
Never been to Sizzler in America.
I asked him that, bro.
We went to growing up, we had like Fur's Kitchen, and we had like a Golden Corral and stuff like fast food stuff like that after, sporting events and stuff. But we never saw Sizzler. I never went to Sizzler. And then, it's like the American like buffet style here. And it just like became my pregame routine, man. And it's just like, I've just stuck with it, like honestly.
Bro, I've never been to Sizzler in life, but I always see it on your story. And I'm like, dude, what's up with Sizzler? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's nothing better than just having, like some normal food, like, normal for me, like food, like before a game and stuff like that. And I don't know. I like just like having like little routines and stuff. And so, whenever my teammates come, like I pay for them and stuff. And so, I mean, like none of them ever come, but like, it's just something I do. It's something I will, continue and do it. And, like, honestly, the people there, they treat me pretty good. So, it's just one of those things, man.
That's awesome, bro.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the time. We got through the technical difficulties, so appreciate that. Any last thing that you would like to plug in? Also, can you tell us your social media where the fans can reach you?
Yeah, all my social media is at KingKirk53. There's that. And then, honestly, just thank you guys. Like, I think this is so cool, man. Like, honestly, I feel like I could talk to you guys for another 2 hours, honestly. Like, I hope this like blows up. I hope you guys like become famous all over the B League. Cause I think like, this is cool. And like, this is going to connect like, Japanese players, American players, like all this stuff. I mean, being able to learn about different players, cause it's not always that easy to just come out and be like, so what's up, Butts? Like, what's your story, man? Like, I know you whoop my ass, whoop me on the block all the time, but like, I mean, like, what's your life story? So just to be able to hear this stuff and just be able to like talk about different players, it's like, oh, this is cool. Like, and cause like, obviously the last couple of days I'd caught up on a couple different of you guys' podcasts and, honestly, I think this is cool. I hope it blows up. So I really appreciate you guys. And hopefully I can come back on sometime in the future.
No, man, you were great to talk to, bro. And your story's really, really interesting, man. And like I said, watching you like your first month in Japan and to see where you are now and the success you have, man, like it shows you put the work in and it's really paying off. So congratulations to you, man. I couldn't be happier for you.
I really appreciate that. Thanks, man. Thank you.
Couldn't be happier for you.
You want to take us out?
All right, you guys. Well, this has been another episode of IKEMAX. Once again, AK, man, thank you for coming on, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. And if things line up, we'll do it again in the future. And we really appreciate you.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one, man.
All right, you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
See ya.